So I've shared a link in the chat where we can ask questions and it can be easier for Anna to answer us.
What's our? Yeah. So, hi guys. Poleni sana. I really didn't. I thought I was in GMT -5. I'm GMT -4. So I apologize for that. And yeah, so basically what we're gonna do is just go through freelancing and how to be successful in this. I've been doing freelancing like since 2014. But I started out like doing transcription, freelancing, writing, and all that, and then I started doing programming. And I won't lie to you, it wasn't like it wasn't easy. Like I didn't get jobs immediately. It took a while. So just a minute here. Lenny, I just like I was in a zone before this because I thought it was in an hour. So I'm just still trying to communicate with this client and also do this at the same time. So but I promise in Aisha Sai, then I will be fully focused on you people. So I will just do that. Sorry. Okay, perfect. Now, yes, as I was saying, so yeah, and so I'm just gonna share what I've done because right now I am fully freelancing. I don't have a full-time employment. It's just I do freelancing, and I have started my own company. It's called Codalox, and basically what I do is just get freelancing gigs, and I have a bunch of developers. Some of them are on this group, and what we do is just get different projects from different clients, and yeah. So sometimes I get many projects, and I have to outsource. Basically, that's what I'm saying. So I am going to do that. Okay, so next slide, why freelancing? So why freelancing? You get the flexibility. So you set your own hours and work from anywhere. I'm a digital nomad. I love to travel. So this is the like perfect for me because I can say when I want to work and from where. And then variety. I get bored a lot, like easily. So working on different projects and gaining diverse experience, like sometimes like for example right now I have worked on some interesting projects that I wouldn't have worked on if I was working like on full-time employment, things to do with trading and you know, even like turbo streaming channels and all that, the things that I've worked on client projects. And I just love the idea of exciting new challenges all the time. And then you have independence, you be your own boss and choose the projects you're passionate about. Yeah. Don't always take all the projects. Sometimes some projects are not what I want, and it's okay to just say, no, I am not going to take this project. And then there's a financial potential. So yeah, it can be demanding. Like I've said, sometimes I get so many clients I have to outsource. So sometimes it pays off. It pays off well. So sometimes it's, yeah. And then where to get gigs. I'm sure all of you know this. So there's bidding platforms. This is like Upwork, where the client puts the gig there, like, and you have like a number of connects, or like Freelancer, they don't have connects, but you can just bid, like put yourself, market yourself to the client up there. And then there's order-based platform like Fiverr, where you put your gig, what you will do, and the client just purchases it with the click of a button, or just communicates with you and tells you what they want, and you don't have to bid. Right now, Fiverr also has a bidding thing. They call it a brief, but mostly they're usually order-based. And then there's the vetted platforms. So that's like TopTal, Akina Turing, where before you join their talent network, you have to be vetted. So I think even Andela started doing something like this. I'm not even sure what they're doing anymore. And then there's the niche specific platforms. So believe it or not, sometimes I get clients from just GitHub or Stack Overflow. I haven't gotten from Stack Overflow, but I have gotten from GitHub. Like someone just be like, I have this project and I see you're doing Ruby on Rails. Can you fix this bug for me? Like stuff like that. So you can also get clients from there. And then networking. So conferences, social media, professional communities. So what I usually tell people is like, if you're a freelancer, you're a salesperson. So you gotta market yourself wherever you are. Like you're networking, you're meeting buddies. Like you just tell them, you know what, I do. This is what I do. This is my work. So it's like the way musicians just, so wherever they are, they will start showing you, this is my work, or artists. So it's gonna be like the same kind of thing. So you market yourself. And then referrals. These ones have been my biggest clients. So once you do a good job, clients usually refer you. Like if you do a good job, someone sees it and then they'll be like, oh, who did this for you? And then they'll be like, oh yeah, it's Hannah. And with that, like you can market yourself through your work. So you get referrals from previous clients or colleagues. And then the other one is a personal website, so, or a portfolio, or even your GitHub page or LinkedIn. Those use those platforms to market yourself. So here I have I have the websites where you can do that. I'm sure there's more. It's Guru. So this is people per hour. It's quite good. I like it. It's kind of bidding, but it's a mix because they only give you gigs they think are in your interest. So, and then there's Fiverr. That's the one that I'm mostly in, and I get most of my clients from Fiverr. And then Freelancer. I don't do Freelancer a lot. Why? Because there's just too many scammers in there. And then there's Active. That one is good. You privated too. It's like touring, so it's more long-term projects. Fiverr is more short. Fiverr and people per hour is more short-term, and Freelancer. The Active is more long-term. Then some people actually could reach out through LinkedIn. This is mostly usually long-term, like remote jobs and stuff, or 3 months contract or something like that. And then we have Upwork, which is most people know. I won't speak much on Upwork. This one, I don't even know what the trick is because I have used all the connects and I've gotten like say 2, but I don't focus on it much, so I can't really blame it. But yeah, this one is good for both short-term and long-term projects. And then, as I said, you're a salesperson, so you write a great profile on your Upwork or wherever, and also your LinkedIn, and also GitHub. Like, just make use of the GitHub README to decorate your GitHub page with what you've done, or GitHub.io. And then remember that the client's needs are usually evolving. So make sure you update these portfolios regularly. So for example, if you work on a project, say for the first time to do with stimulus JS, and you've gotten some experience with that, update your profile. Those small experiences, just update them, because sometimes you learn on the job. So yeah. And then how to be featured. So if you want to appear like at the top, for example, at platforms like Fiverr or even People Power, where the client can reach out to you, they're gonna search, for example, Ruby on Rails developer to fix something. So for you to be featured, one, you need to have a very, very good portfolio and make use of keywords. Okay, make use of keywords. And there's something someone told me. I don't know if it's actually works, but I use it. So for your images where you are for your gig images, or yes, so the name of the image, don't just say like upload it the way it is, it's written, just screenshot WhatsApp what.png. No, rename it to something that you're doing. For example, if you're doing like Django, just write Django API something.png. That will be the name of the image. And then when you upload it, for some, when they're searching, the metadata can be like, they can use the metadata to feature you. That's what I'm trying to say. And then the other thing is maintain a high job success score. So on-time delivery, response rate, order completion rate, client satisfaction, and response time. Those are mostly what they use to kind of rank you. So make sure you have at least 90 in these. When you go below that, oh, you will be thrown in the abyss. Like nobody will even see you. You'll be like down there. But if you maintain these high standards, like 1 hour response time, Ediata we can get to alarm. With this, you'll be always on the front page. And I trust me, there's there's a lot of benefits on being on the front page of these sites when someone searches your niche. And then how to stand out. Demonstrate your skills. Demonstrate your skills. So when you get a job, do it well. Okay. Communicate the benefits of working with you. Just communication. Communication by itself is it's a good way to keep clients interested in working with you. Show that you're low risk, high reward. So do your research. Make sure you show the client why they should pick you and not the other person. Do your research with other freelancer profiles. Sometimes I use TopTal to just see what other Ruby developers out there are doing. Just look at them. Look at even on Fiverr. Sometimes I just look at what do the other developers do. What do they have on their profile? So you can do that as well. And then balance your customer service with great project quality and excellent project management. So project management means like you have to keep your stakeholders, so the client, informed. I have seen this with a lot of developers. They're really, really good developers, but they don't communicate. Like the scenario that we just talked about yesterday, where maybe a developer is good, but they just can't, use words to communicate. Things like ghosting or just being quiet for a couple of weeks and then showing up with the fully like coded project. by that time the client maybe is wondering, are you still working on this project or you've gone on to do your own things? So just keep updating the client, like tell them, okay, yes, I have finished working on this, I am now focused on this, I'm estimating it will take this amount of time. Just keep them updated. Yeah. And okay, next. And then so this is the other thing. There's this platform like Akina Upwork where you have to bid. So how do you bid effectively? So I've actually been surprised the past couple of days. I started using like the Fiverr brief, and to my surprise, like I've gotten, like yesterday I just applied on some Python brief thing and I got it. Today I applied some Ruby thing and I got it. Like it was just one of those things. I'm like, I don't like bidding. Like I I don't think I have that good of a luck. So I don't do bidding, I don't do betting because I don't trust my luck. But yeah, so I just employed some of these advice that I'm trying to give you here, and I've been getting bid like briefs from my bids every time I actually bid, which is surprising. So research on the project, understand the requirement. The client that I bid on today, the first message they messaged me before accepting was, have you read the requirements? And I said yes. And they asked me, can you repeat them to me in your own words? And I did it, and he was like, wow, okay, yeah, you have actually read the requirements. So don't just bid blindly. Read the requirements and make sure you understand the project scope. And then price competitively. So consider the market rates, consider the project complexity, and your experience, okay? So sometimes you might misjudge a project, think that it's gonna take 2 hours and then it takes you like the whole day. That happens, okay? But don't make it like happen all the time, you know. So yeah, price competitively, look at the client's budget, and also look at your experience, and are you really willing to do that work for the budget that they have? Okay, sometimes you want to work and you can do the project, but you look at the client's budget and you're like, nah, I think this project is better suited for someone else. So it's okay to say no, and then craft or draft a compelling proposal. So address the client's needs, showcase your relevant skills, and offer insights. So some of the things that I use when bidding is actually make the client to like see why I am the better fit. So for example, you can tell them, from my previous experience, I have worked on this X, Y, and Z, and I believe from that experience I'll be the best person for this. Okay. Or tell them about, they just give them a hint of how they should solve the problem they have. Don't give them everything, because if you tell them everything and maybe they're a developer, they are you. Can everyone hear me? Dennis is saying it's breaking up.
I think I can hear you clearly on my end.
On my end, I can hear you properly. I think it's him who has a problem.
Yeah, Dennis, ongeza bundles. So yeah, as I was saying, you can you can offer like a little bit of insight. Just sprinkle kidogo kidogo, like just sprinkle and tell them something how they can fix the problem, but don't tell them everything. Because some of these clients, they will be out here asking you, can you do this, and just want you to tell them everything and then they go do it themselves or find someone cheaper, and because they know exactly how to fix it. So don't just tell them for everything. Just sprinkle, kidogo, and then yeah, if they want the full product or everything, then they'll have to hire you. Then highlight your unique strengths and previous success stories. That's what I was telling you about. Tell them, yeah, if they want an Airbnb site, tell them you've created something like you've worked on booking.com, and your experience there will help them with their website or something like that. And be professional and concise. So as much as you want to, don't go ahead and tell them all your life. Like some people, they just feel like there's this thing I've seen with a lot of African developers and all that. We like the woye thing. Like, this is a client, you're just working, and then you will be going there and you tell them your life history of how you come from the village and the stuff. No, 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 no. Focus on this. If you're bidding, bid for the project. It's you're not bidding like, I don't know. Like, I've had, honestly, like, I've had people that just come to tell me that I give them a job because they are from a single mother, and they once the family depends on them and all that. Just come and tell me your skills. That me, I will actually listen more if you tell me, okay, I have worked on this, and I have done XYZ, I successfully helped this client move from revenue from 300,000 to 700,000, and I did this XYZ. That one is more likely to get you a job than the way one. Next. So how to charge? I know this one is usually hard. Even for me, it's hard. So there's three, 4 ways of doing it. There's time-based. So maybe you set your rate to be, say, $50 an hour. Okay. And that time-based, it's good depending on the project itself. So some projects are complex, but you have previous experience, so you can do it in 1 hour. Okay, so there you get $50. Okay, but then someone else who's not had experience with this was gonna take maybe 5 hours, and maybe they're being charged the same. So yeah, you gotta find a balance between time-based and effort-based. Now the other one is effort-based. Okay, and say it's something again that you're used to and you've done it like 5-10 times, so for you it's a walk in the park. So if you charge like effort based, like, oh, it's just to deploy this app to DigitalOcean, okay, I can do it for $100. But then for you it's easy, or $50, you can do it in an hour or two. But then you look at this client, look at this project, this client needs this project. So if they really, really need it, and you look at the value that this client having this project deployed is gonna give them. For example, not even that, like let's say bug fixes. The client project is down, the website is down, and they need it fixed ASAP. You can do it. You can do it in an hour, and then you look at it, how much are they losing with their website down? So that's where you get the balance between effort and time and give them a value. So, okay, the website being down, you're losing, say, $1,000 an hour because the website is down, and I'm gonna fix it for you, and I'm gonna fix it for you in the shortest amount possible, less than an hour. That wouldn't cost them $50 just because you charge $50 an hour. No, it should be a little bit more because it's the value you're offering. So yeah, something like $200, $300, $400 for that. And then there's the fixed fee. I usually use this for things like API documentation. So fine, I'm gonna document your API for $10 an endpoint. It's a fixed fee. It's like the same thing over and over. I've done it like 1,000 times. So you just get this stuff, put it in Swagger and all. So that's a fixed fee. You know that, oh, okay, it will take me the same effort, the same time over and over. So you can also, that's the other way to to charge your clients. So tuko karibu kumaliza, msijali, almost there. How to get paid. So there is the mnajua hizi paper, wise, pioneer, swift, direct deposit, wire transfer, M-Pesa, through the website itself. And then lastly, avoid scammers. Don't work for free, please. Okay, don't, it's not like don't work for free, but like don't work for free when it comes to clients. You can do work for free when you're trying to learn things like internship, okay, or a mentorship. You can do that for free because you're trying to learn. But when it comes to clients, and you can see they're literally just trying to get work for free, like the ones that try to get information from you, like clients that give you their product as their interview. There's a lot of that goes on. Like they tell you, okay, you have this, then you have 3 days or you have 1 week to submit, and it's basically their whole up, and then they tell you didn't pass the interview, and in like a few weeks you see your code online and they're launching. So yeah, avoid that. So ways to avoid that: use secure payment methods, so use escrow service or communicate via the platform. Define payment terms upfront. Discuss the rates, milestone, and payment schedule. And contracts and agreements. Establish a clear contract detailing project scope, deliverables, and payment terms in case you decide to work outside the platform. I have had this Niramba, like this guy, I worked with him on the platform, and then I thought, okay, I can trust him now. So now he gave me the bigger chunk of the code, and we worked outside the platform. And yep, that's how he disappeared on me. Like one morning I wake up and I cannot push to Heroku, I can't do that, and he's not responding, and he has all the code that I spent the entire night working on. So make sure you have clear contract and payment terms. I would advise, if you're working outside the platform, at least get some down payment. Okay, at least get some down payment. And when delivering a project, make sure you upload and document everything. So this happened to me on Fiverr. Like I had done the project, me and the client were good, but because when I delivered, I just wrote that it was delivered via GitHub, which it was. The client later went ahead and like conflict messaging, he got the refund, and like literally did everything, and customer support was on his side, because when they looked for the delivery, all it says it was delivered via GitHub. There was no documentation, there was nothing uploaded to show that I have actually done it. So yep, you gotta be careful about that. There's some parasites out there. And then invoice promptly. Send professional invoices with detailed breakdowns, and ensure timely payment, and address any payment delays professionally. So make sure that you get paid and just send them a reminder, like the next day, after 3 days or so. Remind them professionally. Don't be emotional just immediately because they didn't pay you yesterday. I know people that are like that. Oh, you have my money, oh, Nini, you didn't pick my call. Sometimes people are busy, If it goes like, okay, 3 days, 1 week, and this person is not paying you, and no, now it's starting to, become disrespectful, especially if they're not communicating why they're not paying you. So yeah, follow up, but also be professional about it. And then don't send money with the promises of getting a gig. I saw some time back in the developer group that this client wanted someone to buy a domain with their own name, and then with the hope, I think it was Mary, and with the hope of getting the gig. No, you're out there to work. You're not giving money to get money. It doesn't work like that. So just stay away from clients that want that, that want you to use your money with the hope that they will give you money. And then yeah, it's the same thing. Don't buy anything for the clients with your own money. And lastly, and most importantly, trust your instinct. If you feel like this is a bad idea, this client is a scammer, just trust you're probably right. And that's it. And any questions? Again, I apologize for the lateness. And yeah, Poleni.
So I think that was a great session. So there was that link that I sent for questions. Maybe I can read out the ones that are there first, and then we can do other questions, or the other way around.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so let me read a couple of the questions that were captured there. So I think the first one has been answered. So there is this question: what would you advise someone who is starting with freelancing in terms of platforms, tips to succeed? I think also that has been captured in your presentation. Which kind of job should one start bidding? That is when you're starting out. Also, what should you do to stand out from other sellers and get the job? So I think the larger part of that question is asking what kind of projects should the beginners accept or start with.
Okay. Yeah. So I covered the standing out part. For beginners, start small. Start with the project that you actually know you can do. I have met freelancers that have picked a big project that they can't do, and now they have to hire me to do it, and then my fee is gonna be higher than theirs, and then they're like, okay, now what do I do? Pick, if you're starting out, pick something that you know you can do, even if it's just a small project, even if it's just $50-$20 project. It's okay, they will add up. Build your portfolio with those. Okay, get small projects, build your portfolio. You'll have like 5-star review from, say, 20 people. Even if you just made $20 from each of them and it was just small projects, it's better than waiting to get this one big project that you're gonna get maybe $500. It's Clients rarely give a beginner big project. They want to see you can actually do it. So just start with the small projects. It's fine. Build your confidence, build your portfolio, and with time you'll be able to take like these big projects and all that, and clients will even see from your what you call it, the reviews and everything. They can be able to see, okay, yeah, this person has been doing good with other clients, they can as well have my $500.
Awesome. So the other question that was there is, would you take up a full-time role if you got one?
Oh, yes and no. Okay, yes, because the beauty of a full-time role is financial stability, and also you grow more in a specific niche, you know. Sometimes, yeah, you grow in when you're doing freelancing, but like you rarely go deep into one specific area. Yes, I can do Python. Yes, I can do Ruby. I can do JavaScript, but I cannot go deep into like things like JavaScript or Python. But if I was on a full-time job and I'm doing maybe Ruby on Rails and React, I would probably be better at React than I am right now. I don't know if that makes sense. So yes, I would take, and yes, I would not. The no part is because, man, I love the freedom. I love the freedom of waking up in the morning and deciding, okay, I am going to another island today, and I don't have a client, I don't have stand-ups, and I don't have all that. That's the beauty of freelancing. So it's a balance. I would, yes, I would. And then the other side, I kind of like the freedom. So yeah. It's a 50-50. But come on, talk on a job and they want to give me and it's paying good. I can put up the freedom for a few months. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think it makes absolute sense. Maybe to add up on that question, have you ever had a chance like of having a full-time job and juggling between that and freelancing, or would you advise for somebody to do that?
Yes, I did. I had a full-time job at Andalam and I had like 2, 3 other side gigs. What happened is I got burnout. So I wouldn't advise someone to do full-time with more than one side gig. You can do full-time and one side gig. But when it becomes like you're doing full-time and you have 3 other side gigs, man, it's not good on your mental health. Like, it's really not. The money will come in, yeah, but it will destroy you. So I would say maybe at most 2 side gigs, which are there's not much context switching, so that are similar, okay, and one full-time. So what I mean by that is, like, say you're working a full-time job Ruby on Rails, your side gigs, they should be at least in the same language. For me, I was doing the 3 different languages. I was doing full-time Ruby on Rails. I had the Ruby on Rails React side gigs and another Python, Django. And so the context switching was too much. So yes, I have had full-time and also part-time side gigs. And I can do full-time right now and maybe one side gig. Or if I'm just doing freelancing, I can do freelancing where sometimes I have 3, 4, 5 projects at the same time, but it's not something that it's following up. I have stand-ups here and then I have another stand-up there, so it's things that I can work on my own hours.
Okay, so this question for me. So when you're given maybe or when you get like a project, how do you know, like, how do you decide that this is something I can do? Like, is there, so for instance, you see like new services you've not used, uh maybe are you even open to experimenting on new languages, or how do you make that decision, or do you have to be like 100% sure you can complete a project before taking it up?
Yes and no. So it depends on if I have the time. Sometimes I don't have gigs like all the time and I have this free time and I see a gig in Pearl, like someone wants web scraping in Pearl. I'm gonna take it because I don't have like time constraints and all that. I have the freedom to do that. So I can experiment, I can use the client's project to learn something. But if I have like I have maybe like two other projects and um I don't have much time, then at that point I don't have time to experiment. So I'll only take projects that I know I can do. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's okay to take projects that you want to experiment with. Just don't go like too hard on it and just pick all these projects that these clients want you to create a whole OS and then you decide, okay, yeah, I'm going to experiment on that. No, no, no. Let your experimenting have a limit, eh? So yeah, experiment but also be wise.
Okay, so maybe a final question from me. Like I had mentioned back in the group, I have a reverse engineering gig on Fiverr, and I want to switch to maybe programming. So, should I maybe put that gig on my profile, or does Fiverr allow somebody to create a different profile for that? Like, how do I go about that?
I would tell you to just use the same profile. So as I said, well, I started freelancing in 2014 and I was doing transcription and um, writing. That's how I started. And when I started programming, all I did was create programming gigs. So I just created programming gigs. I didn't delete the account or create a new account for the programming. No, it's still on the same. I just created the new gigs and marketed them. So create new gigs, market them on LinkedIn, on Facebook, tell your friends about it, and it will pick up with time. They will just pick up, and the people will say, "Okay, you also do programming." So yeah.
Thank you. That's it from me. Maybe others can chip in.
I have a question for Jack Zero. Unasemanga Zero ama ni Zero?
Ni zero.
Okay. So how
Mm.
do you I would like to understand like how other freelancers uh decide how much to charge a client. Okay. Like besides the maybe your rate is maybe $100 an hour and all that. Say you've been given a project here. How do you decide?
On my side, at the moment I'm not doing it. I'm not freelancing. What I normally do on a normal project is that I look at it like my own employment, the way I would be paid per month. For example, if I'm paid per month like $1,000, so I can come down and split it in terms of hours. So for example, 8 hours per day, and then 5 days in a week, and 4 weeks in a month. So I just get the number of hours, and then I split it until I get, for example, a rate. I could even come even down to a rate like $20, for example, per hour. So the the reason why I would actually work with that model is looking at it like um, the way you look at it if you are employed. It's just that now you add a figure on top of it because now this is freelancing. This is now not like an employment. So that's how I would be pricing mine. And then another thing that will also dictate my pricing model is looking at it in form of the client. You try to assess the client, or you try to understand the net worth of the client, because now I'm talking of this based on the kind of clients we get here locally, and unlike those ones that you get from the other side of the planet, whom you just meet with them on a platform like Fiverr. But now, if a client is coming to you is a local client, now the dollars that I talked about, if you probably convert them into Kenya shillings, then you can again multiply it in terms of how much time you are willing to take on the project. Then again, another thing that can also be a factor to undertake in a project is the timeline. If the client is giving you very little time to do a project, then it means it will be expensive. If the time that is giving you to do a project is longer, that which means like you can still do other things on the side and still be on time, then me, I will price it cheaply. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I do that too. I have a question on the where you break down all the way to all. No, let's say for example, you've done that and then you get these bugs. Like it's a very simple bug, okay? Maybe just you forgot a semicolon or just but then it takes you time. Who's supposed to pay for that time that you took maybe 2 hours fixing a tiny bug? Is that part of the do you I don't know, when you're counting, maybe say the project should have taken you 1 hour but it took you 3 hours because you couldn't see where you define this variable? Do you charge the client 3 hours or the 1 hour it should have taken you if you fixed this bug?
Well,
Yeah.
I think the source of the bug we can actually see there. It's you who was working on it, who was working on the project. So I would think you should take the liability. You should take the bullet.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes for me that one is usually hard. Sometimes I just split the cost of the bug. Sometimes I take the bullet, and sometimes I get the client to pay for my mistake. So good luck.
You are a ruthless woman.
Well, it's a dog eat man dog society. Any other questions?
Yeah, so maybe I can make a commentary and also ask a question. So about charging clients, so for me, I usually go the route of the famous person, Leonoliza client, what is your budget? And they also go ahead and ask you what is your rate. So you have
Yeah.
to push for them to give you a budget because you can underprice yourself sometimes. So uh, usually you can get like somebody who's loaded and they tell you we have like maybe a couple of $1,000s for this project. But other times it will be somebody with a ridiculous a ridiculous price, like $20 or something. So yeah, and then
For me, from experience, like the ones that we play that chess game are the ones that want you to create like an entire OS on $20. The ones that have a budget usually tell you upfront. So me, I don't like this chess game, yeah. Like because sometimes I don't want to price my rate based on the client's budget. I know what I'm worth, so I tell them, okay, this is my rate, okay, and then from there we can work out something. I've actually had clients where I tell them, okay, my rate, and they're like, oh, okay, well, their rate was a little bit like the budget was a little bit higher, and they're like, sometime back maybe, well, I had told the client that I charge $50 an hour or something. I think it was 20. Anyway, sometime back, and the client told me, oh, okay, I can give you $60 an hour. And I was like, what just happened, because in from like in our society in Kenya, they usually haggle you down, but in other places they can actually haggle you up. I don't know if there's a haggle you up, but yeah, they and I actually learned that from my husband that if your rate is good, the client would actually pay for it. I have worked with the client that I did a job. I told him, okay, my minimum is $50, and I fixed the thing in 10 minutes, and the client gave me a $20 tip. So in 10 minutes, I made $70. But then if like other clients would have seen that and then be like, so you charged me $50 and you did this in 10 minutes. I'm not paying you 10 minutes. Like it's a complicated situation. So, but it's always good to be in escrows to prevent such scenarios, especially if you do something faster. So sometimes that I delay that I've already finished it because I don't know how this client will react. So I just wait maybe an hour and be like, oh yeah, I finished. But I actually finished it in like 10 minutes and I'm just here waiting because I don't want to deliver. If it's something that it's urgent and you can see this client is it's needing it and they're nice clients, yeah, I'll give you your thing in 10 minutes and be like, okay, go your way. But if you're like this, I'm not seeing you well, uko hivi hivi. I'll wait and then give you when I think you think I've spent enough time working on it, so that we just avoid that whole thing of, oh, you took less time on this, nini, I should give you less. No.
Great. So a while back you mentioned that for freelancing it doesn't allow you to like get deep into these languages, deep into these services. So how do you make sure that you stay afloat in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge about uh, programming and maybe your area of work? So how do you make sure that you're still good?
So sometimes I take like cheap projects just for the purpose of just learning and just keeping my skills updated. Like, I'll create an entire app for $500 just because, or I want to learn maybe to work with Tailwind, or just because I want to stay updated. Maybe I was doing Rails 6 and now I want to learn Rails 7. I'll use the client's money to learn this. Another thing I do is open source projects. So sometimes I'll contribute to these open source projects just for the learning purposes and to just be able to interact with other people, and also to have the feel of working in a team. Sometimes when you do freelancing for a long time, you become a lone ranger and you can forget like things like contributing in the team, communication, or things like code review. So like most of the time, sometimes maybe when you're working freelancing, you push directly to master, and in a team you won't be able to do that. So I work with open source, or sometimes I get junior devs that I mentor, and we work together and we do code reviews so that I actually get the feel of working in an employment setting. I don't know if you're getting me, working in a team. And also, just have things like periodic meetings to mimic the stand-ups. And that way, I know even if I work in an employment, I won't have a hard time readjusting in terms of, oh, but you have forgotten to push to a branch or create a PR and push directly to master or something like that. So, yeah.
Thank you.
I see another one here. What advice would you give someone who is planning to shift to tech, but in full-time employment to? So what I can say is the good thing about tech is that you can still do it alongside your other employment. You can still, especially in the first few like months while you're transitioning, you can still do it. And then once you get to a point that you're like, okay, you know what, I'm actually done with this job, or I have actually made my decision that I want to do tech, and you're 100% sure you want that, you can resign and do tech. That's the beauty of it. Like, I know programmers that are lawyers, doctors, name it, that were doing something else. Especially when we were in Andela, we had a lot of programmers that didn't do anything tech related before they joined programming. So I would say test the waters, okay? Test the waters. See, give it like a month or two where you practice this maybe programming things. See if it's for you, because sometimes you might think it's for you, and then you come here and then kinakuramba, and then you're like, oh, I thought, because some people like want programming, and then I give them maybe something to learn, and they're like, what, this thing is hard. So I would say give it a month or so to test the waters, and if you're really sure you want it, go for it. Think tech is one of the fields that it's very hard to regret going there, because there's always someone coming up with a technology idea that you they will need help with. I'm sure someone is gonna ask about the AI that they're gonna take our jobs, but no, I don't think so. Not yet, anyway.
Oh, by the way, I was when you started, I was actually cooking. So, but I was hearing what you are saying. So, you talked about the different freelancing platforms that are there, the major ones, and maybe you said you've not succeeded in Upwork, if I got you right.
Yeah.
So there's a guy, he was in the group but he left. I used to work with him in a certain startup, and Upwork was his second place where he got his bread,
Yeah.
because this guy, it was I would say, let me use the word shrewd. He was a shrewd freelancer. And for him to be a shrewd freelancer, he was doing this thing whereby, you see, on Upwork, we have to compete against the Indians, and the Indians
Yeah.
are they have they are the best known people when it comes to ClickFunnels. So when you see somebody having a lot of reviews, most of them, they are fake, they have been bought. So this guy also decided he's also going to play that dirty game. So he bought, he created a different he created like 2 other accounts, and then he was depositing like $30 in each of those other accounts, and then he would
And buying
create a job, pay himself from the other account, write a review like that, and then he started to have his own reviews. Then they were now pushing him up. So that is how he right now, he's actually having, he never misses to get a gig on Upwork. So
Okay.
yeah, people are playing that.
Maybe you played dirty is the answer. But I
Yeah,
think also I
even
haven't
on
focused
Fiverr,
on Upwork.
even on Fiverr, people are playing that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I think if somebody is here is wondering how to actually make it, the game is already rigged, and it can be hard for you to actually get up there. I don't know. Personally, my morals don't allow me to play that. That's why. Otherwise, I will be up there at the top.
Okay, I see. Cool. So for me, Upwork, I haven't focused on it a lot. I think also that might be it. But it's good to know that actually these people that always get the gigs, maybe they're not better than me. Sometimes imposter syndrome can hit you hard. It can hit you hard when you keep applying and nobody is accepting your bid. So it's good to get reassurance that they're not better than us. They're just rigging the system. Okay. I see another one. Kevin Mokimotai. What languages do you advise people based on freelance to learn for now and for the future? Me, I don't like this language fight. Me, I don't. But I would say from experience, because here's the thing why I don't like it. Because if you ask anyone, they will tell you something like Ruby is not marketable because it's a dead language, it's old, it's all that, right? So a lot of people don't new developers don't do Ruby. They'll go for maybe React or Python or something. But I can tell you right now that I get a lot of gigs in Ruby than I get in Python. Why? Because, well, if everyone is going for Python, then the pool is saturated, and then because people are saying, oh, Ruby is old, Ruby is not marketable and all that, and then there's just this one person that is doing Ruby, and then there's all this old website that needs updating and they have bugs. They're gonna go to the one person that. So I don't like the languages game or argument, because you just pick a niche, do your research, pick what you want. What do you want to do? You want to do game programming? Do you want to do API management? What do you want to do? And then from there, pick the best language for that. So if I want to create a website really, really fast for me, I'll do Ruby, because I can scaffold everything in 5 minutes. I have a working website, But if I want to do something like web scraping, it's going to take me longer if I do it in Ruby. So I'll go with Python, something like that. So yeah, I would say the best language depends on what you want to do.
In fact, let
Anyone
me
else
just,
want to add?
yeah. Yeah, even me, I don't like people asking frameworks or languages, because it is an endless debate. So, like me in Fiverr, the projects that I once worked on, you won't believe it, they were C++ projects.
Yeah.
I tried to set up gigs on what I do right now, where I'm employed. Flutter. I tried also React. They were not getting noticeable, but the ones for C++, they got noticed, and for the time that I was using Fiverr, they were paying my bills. So huo mtu mwenye anataka kujua languages zenye Hannah ameivia ama Jaxira ama nani ameivia, bro, kitakuramba.
Okay. Then there's Brian. Is it possible to mention the numbers you're raking? Raking inamaanisha nini? Ama ni ranking? On a good month, bad month. Well, okay. Nitawapatia like maybe what do you call them? Range. Yeah. So on five, I'll just talk about, I don't know if you want me to talk about like the ones from the freelancing sites themselves, or the other ones from referrals and all that, because I have like long-term clients that I do their maintenance and management and stuff like that, and those pay well at the end of the month. Like the aggregate is good. That's what I can say. For Fiverr itself, like on a bad month, say on really, really bad month where I haven't worked, I would say at least $500 just on Fiverr itself. Okay. On a good month, like on a normal month, between 1,000 and 2,000 on a normal month. But this is just like the projects on Fiverr. And the other thing is that sometimes when I get a client on Fiverr and we've worked a good rapport, I'll just give them a contract and we work outside Fiverr. You know what? This 20% that these Fiverr people take all the time, it adds up. And sometimes if I'm getting like the project and outsourcing them to like the junior devs or my mentees, then they've taken their 20%, so I'm left with 80% of the funds, and I have to distribute amongst maybe 3 other developers. It starts to add up. So for projects like that, I would prefer to just give them a contract, work outside Fiverr, get the whole 100%, and then I can get my cut and pay up for the other developers. So yeah, I don't know if that is exciting enough, or I just killed your question.
You left it at normal month. You haven't told us how much you can
Oh, on a good month.
Yeah.
Well, see, hapo ni after 2000. Ni kwenda juu. Sometimes it depends. Sometimes you can get a busy month where you're getting like especially like there was this time around April where Heroku was shifting from Heroku, I think it was 20 to 22, and almost all websites broke, all Ruby websites, because people don't update their websites. That was a good month, because to just upgrade from 20 to 22, like it was at least 100, 200. That's what I was charging. So you get like 10 of these clients that they're coming in a rush. Oh, my website just went down. Please, I need to be up. My clients are calling me. And like, okay, yeah, that's gonna be $400 for you, you know. So on a good month, it just be 2,000 plus. All I can say is it pays the bills and the lifestyle. Well, not so much the lifestyle. The lifestyle needs a mubaba, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah, that's motivating. 2,000 on a normal month is, I think, good money for most of us here.
So any other question?
Since don't think there are any more questions, maybe I just want to say.
Dennis anauliza we hii $2,000 kwani wewe Dennis, hey, inaweza kuwa 2,000 tu, like how is that even? Yes, it is dollars. It is dollars. So yeah.
People are making dollars out here. Yeah, so
we're speaking in USD.
yeah, so this is just to appreciate you and to thank you for this session. It has been insightful for me, actually. So I'll just rush to Fiverr and create my extra gigs for programming, and hopefully all goes well. So thank you.
Karibu. And I want to give a shout out to Kemi. Kemi, that's my protege. I like her. So we've been working on very many projects together. We've been working together since she did her school internship with me. And then I tried the other internship that failed. People just decided there was the people that were serious and then the other people that were not serious. But yeah, maybe in the future I might do another one. But so yeah, Kemi, thank you so much for supporting me. I also want to shout out Mary, the tech lady. Yeah, she's been awesome. We've worked together on some projects. Kuna watu wengine hapa tumework on some project. Okay, nimewasahau. I'm so sorry. I know you people. But yeah, Jack, thank you so much for always keeping the group on toes. Aya, kuna watu hapa hivi wanaanza kuuliza maswali. Huyu anauliza where do we get them? Wewe hujasikiza Jack venye amesema? Amesema people, the pool is corrupted. People are playing a dirty game here. So kama umekaukiwa, itabidi ujilipe, ujipatie reviews, and then be work play on the same level with the Indians. How do people reach me if they're interested in mentorship? Just send me a message on my WhatsApp. But right now I'm not doing any. Maybe August. No, but it's not structured mentorship. It will just be like a project we're working on, and maybe at the end of the week nakununulia kachai and all that, but it's mostly for your learning, because I already have like developers for it. So could you share this presentation? Sure. And then I learned Ruby and React from one of Hannah's internship. Barikiwa sana. Hey, hadi kuku za neighbors zikuwe zinatoka kwetu. Okay, that's a good one. Thank you. Thank you. And Ellie, you're here. Yeah, Ellie was one of my very, very good interns. So aya, kumeendelea kukua usiku. Nani anataka kukaa mpaka 9:30? Ni 9:30 ama ni 8:30? 9:30? 30 on the dot. Any other questions? Let me stop sharing that. I'm sure mko na maswali, tuulizeni tu.
Yeah, Jack, maybe we can be organizing such regular kizungu bana.
Regular. Hata mimi acha niache kujaribu because regularly.
Yeah, so maybe we can be doing this once in a while. I think it will benefit some of us, and maybe it can be a chance to catch up.
Yeah, by the way, somebody had suggested that we be having something like a meetup or a podcast for the group. Ni vile mambo imekuwa mingi na hii Hannah, it's going to help us to kickstart that. So probably every week tutakuwa tunafanya vitu kaa hizi whereby we decide on a topic and then one of us can be the guest speaker to address it. Itasaidia sana. Sasa these are things that they are not programming related, as in it's not with a specific to a certain programming language or framework. Ikwe tu ni a general topic that affects every developer. So it's something that we can work on weekly basis.
Yeah. I second that idea because I also want to learn from people like Charlie with this penetration testing, and I want to learn C++ sometime. Maybe not, but yeah, it would be nice to have like frequent meetups where you just share knowledge and share experiences. Other sometimes just to catch up, and the way we just have those client horror stories and just share that. That would be nice. Be nice.
Yeah, kidogo, am I audible?
Hey, mse, umemeza ufa.
Nashangaa. Okay, any other question? Ama comment? Ama anything? Kabla watu waende kulala.
I think we are good.
Okay, so basi. Yeah, if you have anything interesting,
they can post on the group and we'll respond from there. Ile makosa tu ulifanya, you didn't record this session.
Lakini how do you record on?
Yeah, it's possible to record on Google Meet.
Unaanzia wapi? I'm not seeing anywhere. Oh, manage recording.
Yeah. I
Recording.
can
Start
see it is telling me recording unavailable. You're not allowed to record this video call, which means wewe mwenye ni host, you are...
Yeah, no, I see. Well, next time sasa tunajua.
No.
I see mine. I can see start recording, but I guess
premium workspace. No, it's possible.
Yeah, and don't know it's possible. I can do it as the admin.
Yeah. Ina record and then ina store kwa drive yako, si ndio?
Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll do it. We will do it next time. We'll have another one.
Aya, thanks. Me, I'm off.
Aya, sawa, acha mimi nikapike lunch. Mtakuwa na a good night.
Aya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.